Welcome to Graya Overload. I'm Anthony, and with Zen2 and Navi coming soon, what are the expectations for AMD? Over the last couple of years, AMD has been working their way out of the bad years and Intel just dominating them. And before I get into all the AMD stuff, one has to wonder about with all the Intel flaws and security problems coming out, if things wouldn't have been different if they were found back then. But that's a little bit of water under the bridge. Is something good to think about now. However, with Zen coming back on the CPU side, it's really pushing AMD in a new light, starting to grow their business in a positive way. Right, AMD's been getting crushed by Nvidia and Intel on research and development, and AMD really didn't have a product to develop to be able to compete with them either. So with Zen, the first generation, that Ryzen 1000 series really started taking a leap and bound to compete with Intel, right? We finally got a bigger core count, more threads on the regular desktop side. Then Threadripper came, and servers just got a huge core count jump. And that was a huge invigoration to the market. I was very excited about it, right? I got a Threadripper 1950 here, so I was really excited to have a processor in a price point that you didn't have to spend half a year working for just to have one part of the CPU. And I think that's what this whole thing where AMD is going right now this year, especially with Zen 2 on the horizon. Granted, I'll get into the GPUs in a second here. Their GPUs haven't really been all that wonderful, and them releasing just like Nvidia and trying to crush Nvidia here. But getting back to Zen, I think the Zen 2 architecture, we've had a lot of leaks here. In a couple days I'm going to do another video because it's going to be Computex, and we will probably see a lot of that stuff released here. But with the rumors with the 5 gigahertz on 12 cores, boost and stuff like that, AMD is trying to go after that market of enthusiasts, trying to make sure that their name is out there and they're on a positive trajectory. I really hope that AMD does come out with a 16-core desktop CPU. I think it's a great thing to get more core counts in there. Granted, software developers like myself have to work harder, take better advantage of it, but I think over time there's going to be more and more things. Like, I want to do a shout out to Adore TV. He's done a lot with the leaks and got a lot of information about Zen 2, which I really appreciate him releasing some of that. And go check out his channel. I love watching his videos. They're a little bit long, but they're very informational. And with all that information, he's been able to release. He's getting up hopes, but he's giving us a glimpse of what AMD is trying to accomplish here. And I think AMD on their CPU side is trying to make sure that they're not going to get stuck in the position, at least as what I can see while Lisa Su's at the helm, of being so far behind. They are going to have a crushing business and to almost the brink of collapse, right? AMD was literally on the brink of collapse here, and I'm hoping that I love to see AMD be able to get some more money in their coffers and be able to support themselves longer term, get that debt paid down so that they're out from underneath that burden. But with Intel on the other side, you see, I really want them to be competing with AMD because it just provides more innovation out there as well. And we shall see here in a couple days where Zen goes. But the compatibility, I believe AMD going forward is going to want compatibility. If they're going to switch the socket, they're going to switch it, but they're going to want compatibility in the long run. I like their compatibility strategy where you have to, update the BIOS. Yeah, the newer chips features are not going to work on all the older boards. You can't foresee what's going to be on the newer system, beforehand, right? You can't design for something that's not there. But moving forward, I like seeing where AMD is going, where it's all the backwards compatibility stuff. You can drop in a chip. It has longer longevity than just, hey, we have to buy a new platform every 2 years. I think it also makes people stick with your platform longer because as an enthusiast, especially as a gamer, if you want to upgrade something, guess what? You're just upgrading one part. You're not upgrading a full system, which is a chance to then switch platforms or switch to a different, like you could switch back to Intel or whatever. So I think Intel might be starting to run up to that if they're not the dominant party making the best part. And so Intel, I think will have fine doing it, but I think Intel is going to realize that if we're not going to have a dominant platform, we're going to want more longevity. And I hope AMD just continues the longevity side of things. Now, Zen 2, I really hope that they have a competent part at the high end. I think there will. I think that if it's not the highest core count, they're going to have coming out with clock speeds in like 12 core part that hit and compete with Intel. They're going to be gunning for whatever else, and gaming will be much improved. They're going to be, I believe they're going to be on par with Intel in gaming. Why? Because they get beat up on it at every review site, and they've been probably been working hard for with this Leapfrog team on Zen 2 to make sure that's there, and Zen 3 guarantee that they're going to be working hard to make sure that they don't regress in that section either. They want to stay on top of this. They got great in productivity and everything else. Yes, that'll see some improvement, but they want to really make sure that they're on top of it. Now, jumping into GPUs here, they've had a poor showing. Yeah, I have a Vega card. You know, that does a great competing card. Does run a little warm. Then we have the Radeon 7, which is the first 7 nanometer card. But they really haven't been putting out new cards, right? Polaris, the mid-range, has been a refresh forever. Basically, you could say 3 generations, right? 490, 500 series, or 480s, 400 series, 500 series, and then you had the 590, a slight 12 nanometer refresh. So, and by the way, AMD, get your naming schemes right for GPUs. Don't do anything weird. Just get them right, get them done. Don't do just stuff you've done last time with the 560, the 570s, and calling it 580 with the lower CU counts and stuff. Just clean it up, get it good off the bat, and get a mid-range part that's new. Here's Navi that's going to be coming soon. I'm guessing it's going to be, since they announced the, what was it, E3 announcement that they're going to do some stuff there. I'm guessing Navi's going to come there. And if the rumors are true that it's out there, Adore TV had some, excuse me, Adore TV had some rumors. Another one is WCCF Tech has had a lot of stuff on there rumor-wise. Not an Apple fan's been doing some great analysis videos on Navi and what he thinks is coming. He's got a great rant on the price. Interesting with that. Moore's Law is Dead has also had some great, another YouTube channel, great information on Navi. And so those are some channels I would recommend. Even the Good Old Gamers talked about it as well. Some great stuff on there. But my perspective of Navi is that Navi needs to come home and hit performance. Well, price points will fall in. If price points are bad, they may be bad received, but AMD can always adjust price points. It's performance and power that needs to be hitting properly. Now, you know, I love price points to be great and it just sells like hotcakes. I don't think that that's going to be the case, right? People have been beating their head that NVIDIA is the best forever, and NVIDIA owns a high end. They still do, right? They have the 2080 Ti for $1,300, or, you know, you really want to go out, you got a Titan for, I don't even remember the price because it's just so far out of my price range. I haven't even looked at it. So with that, I think Navi just has to hit price points that are going to be competitive, that they can sell cards at and make money. Now, price of performance and power are what's going to be key. If they're hitting performance and they're beating out like a 2070 for about the same price point, and beating out a 2060 for about the same price point, I could see them going through and still making money and still making good money, and that's a good thing. And if they bring that stack all the way down to have a great card for a really cheap entry price, let's say like closer to $100, that is just a single PCI slot, no power adapters, I think that's where AMD needs to go to, so they have a range of good power efficiency and good gaming performance. I'm hoping that they, you know, edge out NVIDIA on each price point. Granted, they got a process technology at 7 nanometers, so they better take advantage of it. I do think, however, I'll do a video on NVIDIA too, that NVIDIA will leapfrog them. I think NVIDIA is just like that. There's been rumors about it already, so NVIDIA is probably going to do that. So AMD has to make sure that they're coming to a price point and maybe anticipate a NVIDIA doing a leapfrog thing and maybe slot them just a little bit lower in price so that when they come out with it, NVIDIA has a choice to make. NVIDIA can make that choice, but let it put pressure on NVIDIA to do that as well. So, but I think that Navi is going to have a great gaming performance leap over Polaris. I think Polaris is kind of really long in the tooth, and they'll have that trajectory. The next generation stuff is what I'm kind of more interested in. Now, there might be a big Navi next year for high performance. I'm hoping that AMD, now that Raj has been gone for, what would it be, a year now, coming up in a little bit here. So if he's able to, the guys that are leading Radeon Group now, if they're able to get out from underneath themselves, we could start seeing some new stuff, and that's going to be where to see where Radeon Technologies is really going. Right now, AMD basically took off since Polaris. They have not done much with the graphics card at all, right? The GNC architecture was built for compute and graphics. Now, granted, they hit compute really hard. It was a great mining card, and it was sold out everywhere. Now they have to go back through and make sure graphics are. And I think Navi's going to be the adjustment for graphics to make graphics on par with kind of where the compute was with it for everything else. So now we're going to see some of the graphics side of it. And then we'll see where AMD goes. Because this Radeon Technology Group, I think Lisa Su is kind of laying it out. They kind of took a little break and making sure that they're going to hit their and get better over time. Because that's kind of Lisa Su's thing. Is that you notice that she takes time, makes sure that product's good, and then she just wants to press forward on that. She has a plan, and she's going to execute on it. I'm hoping that the plan is a good plan and it executes kind of like Zen did, where it's better than what they say. And I'm hoping that marketing takes that to heart too. Like, don't oversell the product. Let the product sell itself. You just get the product out there and let people know about it. I think that that's a way better thing is when you're getting more performance, that's going to take off. And hopefully Lisa Su and how she's been doing things and her team's been doing things really pounds that into their marketing department to be better at it. Sometimes marketing can get overhyped. Marketing needs to take a step back and realize what they're actually kind of doing. And they're just trying to get the products out there so we know about them so that we can get access to them. Now, they want Radeon everywhere in the GPU department. I think AMD is going on the trajectory to get Radeon everywhere, right? They have it in Google Stadia. Hopefully Google Stadia stays around. I think it's going to be another alternative gaming platform for people that need or want to go try out a game. They have the consoles, right? Radeon the consoles. I think that they like to be in all the consoles, even the Switch. I think they would like to be there. I think that they've probably working on stuff to try to get in there at someday. Microsoft's coming out with Project their gaming stuff, Project xCloud, that has Radeon in it. So there's a lot of Radeon everywhere, and AMD's just kind of expanding on that and really growing. Even on the data center side, right? There's Radeon there that Microsoft or that AMD wants to put everywhere. And with this latest supercomputer, Frontier, that from DOE that's doing down at Oak Ridge Labs, that's going to have 4 Radeon cards basically to every EPYC core, every EPYC CPU. So that's going to be another performance thing of getting Radeon everywhere and getting it so that's going to be there. And getting that huge supercomputer contract is another way to put Radeon out there in front and see what Radeon can do. It's going to be the most powerful supercomputer. And AMD's goal is just to get it in every single market. It may not be the most powerful. I don't know if AMD will ever have, in the short term, maybe the next couple of years, a super, super powerful card that just blows the Titan away. I think AMD, would like to have that card. Who knows if they do? But my feeling is that AMD would rather have Radeon in 95% of the computer systems out there than just go for the high end. And that's just my feeling of what I've kind of seen from them and their wordage of Radeons everywhere. They might finally get back to the high performance card, but like this year, it wasn't high performance Navi and then all the other cards. It was, that mid range and upper mid range. We're going to go for that, and then next year is going to be the high end Navi. So that's kind of how I feel of where AMD's going. They really want to focus on getting that mid-range down. And hopefully every single year, that mid-range gets a new section of cards. So that's kind of how I see where all this is going. AMD's probably on an upward trajectory. I really do that they hope make a lot of money, though, in this trajectory. Get some money in the coffers. Allow R&D to expand so that we can get some benefit of those products as they expand them. I also think that if Zen2, this third generation Ryzen, knocks it out of the park, more and more people are going to be looking at AMD as their graphics cards, which could then actually help the GPU market share for AMD, because it's not doing so well and AMD needs some help there. And if you're going to build a system and all of a sudden you like this Zen product so much and it is doing great against the competition, you may just start looking at the GPU side of things as well and start building a whole system. Who knows what AMD has in store for them after these next couple of years, and what they're going to do GPU wise. Things can always change, but in that trajectory, I think that they might, even if they don't hit price points as low as I would like them right away, I think in the next couple of years, if they're able to reinvest and develop some really cool stuff for lower end all the way up to the higher end, they actually may help lower prices, or just being able to develop better products that hit better price points in theory, that could, even if they charge higher for them, they could force Nvidia to play some price-cutting games, and with that competition, could drive that into prices for us consumers. And I would really like that as a gamer to be able to not have to spend, $1,300 on a 2880 Ti high performance card and not even get to a Titan. So with that, let me know what your thoughts are on where AMD's going. I'll be sure to get a video out on what AMD's Computex announcements are. I'm really excited about it, but I want to know what your thoughts are, where they're going, and where do you think that they might go to, because this could be a fun time for us on the AMD's technology path that we haven't seen in a while. I'm hoping Intel and Nvidia, I'm hoping Intel can keep up on the CPU side. I'm hoping Nvidia can still push them on the GPU side, and I'm hoping AMD can kind of get into Nvidia's realm on that GPU side. So with that, thank you for watching. Let me know your comments down below, and until next time, I want to thank you for watching. I'm really appreciative of everything you do to get these videos out and watch them as well, and helping this channel grow. And until next time, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.